No, Kayode, I will let you talk. Kayode, I will let you talk if you let me talk. Kayode.
That's why more and more Lagosians are tuning in. 500,000 Lagosians.
720,000.
970,000. Over 1 million Lagosians. They know that if you give me your afternoon, I will give you hard facts.
Well done, Sandra, on all you do, going beyond the headlines and focusing on the facts.
I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. First hard fact of the day, 203 confirmed COVID cases yesterday in 8 states. Yes, you heard me, 203. That's the biggest one-day total in weeks. Do you remember? I mean, every day I come and I'm like, 43 cases, 23 cases, 6 cases, and we've been like, oh yeah, we've gotten to the end of it. But in one day, 203. But here's the thing. We don't know whether or not most of those cases are from backlogs of old tests. We don't know. Now, that's possible because when you look at the state-by-state data, 178 cases are from Benue State alone. So it's either Benue State has suddenly gotten some kind of outbreak, or these were old tests that had not been processed from that state. So we're waiting for the NCDC to clarify that situation. When I saw the numbers, I was like, nah, there must be something wrong. This must be from June 2020 or from, December 2020. But it is from last night. So I think you should still say, you should still get the message that COVID-19 is not over. That's what you should get from this. You have to continue doing the things that you've been doing to protect yourself, right? So limit your movement. When you must go out, whether it's to work or to buy essentials, you have to wear a mask and keep your distance from people. And then wash your hands and sanitize your hands. It's really not difficult to do a particular one. Second hard fact of the day, Zamfara Governor Bello Matawalle has sacked his SSG, his entire cabinet, and dissolved all state parastatal boards. He also suspended an emir and a district head, and he has set up a panel to investigate them. Matawalle has not given us any specific reason yet, but we're watching that story very closely because basically a governor just nuked the entire leadership of his executive arm of government. There has to be a very big reason. Because, like you heard, his SSG, his entire cabinet, and you have the entire leadership of an emirate as well. So that's huge. So once we find out what the reason is, you're going to be the first to know. All 1 million of you. Thank you for tuning in to Hard Facts today. We have a great show for you, starting with the big three. We're going to talk about the aftermath of the Lagos APC's local government primaries. Then let's talk about Wike telling Uzodinma not to jump to conclusions on Gulak's murder. And then let's talk about Sanwo-Olu asking the federal government to fund Lagos-Badagry Expressway, the repairs for Lagos-Badagry Expressway. Remember, you can talk to us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. We've also got WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Facebook Nigeria Info 99.3, YouTube Nigeria Info FM. Chukwudi will be out in the field today finding out the cost of food in the market. How expensive it is for you? Is it for you to purchase some of the items that you used to purchase? Is it cheaper now? Is it more expensive now? That's a conversation he'll be having with you from 4 o'clock. And on the big hard fact, let's talk about the future of cattle rearing. The southern governors have banned open grazing. What comes next? What are the implications for the political economy? What policies, if any, should the federal government put in place to modernize the beef industry? I'm going to be joined by Professor Jibrin Ibrahim. He's a professor of political science. I'll also be joined by Mark Amaza, who's a public commentator, and he works in the development space. News updates will come your way at the top of every hour. Listen to every minute of the show if you want to win on just a minute today. But yeah, Lagos, it's time for the big three. I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
This is the big three.
The big three on the hard facts.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Why aren't the Lagos APC primary results out yet? Is Hope Uzodinma challenging the police's statement on Gulak? And should the federal government prioritize the Lagos-Badagry Expressway? Those are your big three, Lagos. Let's talk, shall we? We're still following the aftermath of APC's local government primaries on Saturday. Still no results announced. And so far, it's been very difficult to get any information out of the party. The state party secretariat is crawling with soldiers and police. And they say that the press is not allowed inside. It's not exactly standard operating procedure. Usually, during party primaries, the press is given access to party offices so that we can cover announcement of results and any other big news. But this time, there's a barricade. And journalists are not the only ones being barred. We've also heard from various contestants who say that they've been denied access to party offices since the afternoon of the primary. Some of them led a protest march to the HQ, but apparently that did not solve anything. Now, the Punch is reporting that the delay and silence are because a lot of local government results are inconclusive. Yesterday, remember I told you that there were many reports of materials not getting to some centers, armed thugs disrupting others, and we got reports of gunfights in different local governments as well. Some people reported people showing up with bottles, with knives, etc., etc. So the question now is, what happens next? If indeed many of the results are inconclusive, will the Lagos APC be forced to repeat these primaries? And if so, what's the guarantee that the repeat will not be as chaotic a second time around? Is this an APC problem or is it a general problem? I'm asking because in the last few years, we've seen so many APC primaries in different states descend into chaos. Before the 2019 elections, we saw it happen in Rivers State. We saw it happen in Zamfara. We saw different party factions holding different primaries, coming up with different flag bearers. Everybody was disqualified. You remember that? We also saw something similar in Imo State and Ogun State, right? Which aggrieved members so much that they had to defect immediately after the primary. In Edo State last year, we saw Governor Obaseki disqualified by the party right before the primaries. He defected to the PDP, got the flag, won his re-election, and won again at the Supreme Court. And of course, beyond primaries, we saw the tussle for the party chairmanship itself with Oshomole and Giadom and all the other people involved in that story. So all of these incidents feed a narrative that the APC doesn't have mature mechanisms for resolving internal disputes and preventing normal competition from descending into anarchy. And I want to know if you agree with this. Are you a party member? Do you have thoughts on this? Do you agree, or do you think that this is not just an APC problem and other parties have it to the same degree? 0700-993-993-993. That's our number for men. 0700-993-993-993. For men. For women, 01014657190. 014657190. Did you witness this weekend's APC primaries? What were your impressions? What do you think about the delay to announce results? Does the APC have problems with dispute resolution? Let's talk to Ken in Ikoyi, who's a first-time caller. Hello, Ken.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling.
How are you today?
I'm very well. Welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, on the most unfortunate incident that happened in Imo State, I don't think that anybody is discrediting the police. It is rather the police that discredit themselves.
We're not talking about Imo State, though, but thank you very much for calling to share that. I think you're probably listening to the wrong station, maybe called the wrong one. We're not talking about Imo State, so we're not talking about Imo State yet. right? So I don't know where that came from, but do call us back. Do listen and then call back, right? Okay. 0700-993-993-993, 01465-7190. Did you witness the APC's primaries on Saturday? What were your impressions? What do you think about the delay to announce results? Do you think the APC has problems with dispute resolution as a party? Or do you think, it's just the same as all the other political parties in Nigeria? All the other parties have it to some degree. We've got Etim in Satellite Town on the line. Hello, Etim. Thank you very much for calling.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Go ahead.
The crisis that characterized the APC primaries last weekend is not only peculiar to APC. Remember, sometime last month, at the PDP secretariat on Aba Road in Port Harcourt, there was an explosion there where they were about to hold the primaries. You know the primary that brought Wike, you were in River State in 2015, where other aspirants were shot at. It's only Wike was allied to the venue of the primaries. And recently in Oyo State, where they were holding their primaries for the local government election, the same thing happened. It's not the characteristic of APC. It's about primaries when it concerns the local government. That is where the main contest is. Any other thing, general election or whatever, is just a charade. It's just to tell people that this is what happened. It is not election, it's election. This is where the main candidate, once you emerge a candidate of your party, that is all. No other election again. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. Do you agree with Etim? We've got Samuel in Ikeja on the line. Samuel, hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yes. My take is just that, neither APC or PDP really, have that kind of political will to let the natural course have its way. To me, there is no anything called primary elections. As a matter of fact, what would you call the anointed candidates must have been anointed even right from the onset. All these primary of the thing, all those ones are just window dressing. Just a way of formality's sake. So anybody whatsoever they want to push forward right from the onset, they could have chosen the person.
But if there's an anointed candidate, then why go through the charade of having elections and then shooting guns?
Definitely. That's what the Constitution says. Yes, and you must organize, a primary election.
Okay, but if this is something that everybody in the party knows, then why are contestants contesting the results? Why are contestants protesting? Why are contestants coming with their own, allegedly, thugs and police?
And that is why that is the resultant effect of such act is what we see in the advent of fines. Some people defect or some people cause anarchy and things that are unrest, within political party, which is called political crack. You understand now?
No,
or anti-party.
I don't understand.
Yes.
Okay.
So thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's talk to Joseph, who's a first-time caller. Hello, Joseph.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Thank you for calling.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Thank you. APC is known for thuggery. I am telling you that.
Is it just the APC? Because you heard Etim give examples of primaries that happen in other states.
I want to give an example of what they've been doing. Governorship election in Lagos State, APC never won. It was PDP. But somebody somewhere just invited somebody to go to a quarter and start killing and some. We know them for that.
Is one LCDA or ward or local government enough to determine an election?
Local government, both anything.
No, you're saying, hold on. You're saying that the PDP won in Lagos, right? And then you gave the example of thugs being sent to Okota.
Yes.
If it's only Okota that they sent...
Ballot boxes were destroyed.
Yes, Joseph.
Yes.
If
even
thugs
in Akure, when they held their primaries, APC in Akure in Ondo State, you see what happened.
Yes.
It was thuggery, fighting, killing all over the place.
Yes. Now my question is, can you say the PDP won in Lagos if the thugs were sent to just one area in Lagos?
Not one area. We know what is happening. We know when bullet vans were taking over the places. We know what is happening. Because that same thing is going to happen. But this time around, it's going to be different. I'm assuring you that.
Joseph,
So
I
we
hear
want
what you're
changes
saying.
in Lagos. We want
Joseph,
development in Lagos.
Joseph,
with
I
one
hear
party
you.
Controlling. Hold on. With one party controlling Lagos for so long, there's no development. Go to all areas, apart from the major roads. There's no development everywhere. You cannot go out. Now it has rained. You cannot go. There's no development. They are just bullying everybody. We want changes in Lagos State. Good day.
Good day. Thank you very much. Doesn't sound like Joseph really wanted to listen to me because, I mean, if you claim that one party won and the other party rigged, I have to ask if the governorship election was disrupted in up to 30% of the polling units in Lagos. You know, and the reason I asked that question is because I'm trying to see if that disruption was enough to change the results. It's not enough to just say what we feel. We have to be logical about some of the arguments that we make. If you assert something, I'm going to make you defend it, right? So you come and assert something as strong as, oh, PDP won in Lagos, and then the example you give me is bullion vans being driven into Tinubu's house and Okota getting thugs disrupting the place. Fine. Both things happened before 2019 elections. But did that disruption, was the governorship election disrupted in up to 30% of polling units? Was it even up to 10% of the polling units in Lagos? It's just something for you to consider. We've got Samuel in Ikorodu on the line. Samuel, hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah. So, Joyce, I think that...
My name is Sandra.
Oh, Sandra, okay. I think that the local government elections are probably the most important elections. Because this is, we are electing the chairman who are more closer to the people. That's my point. But in Nigeria, this is not an APC thing. It has become a norm that any party that wins the state election, they will just sweep the whole local government, 100%. I mean, we need to address that issue. It is not healthy for our democracy. So this is not an APC issue or PDP, whatever. It happens everywhere. Even in the East where Afghan won, they just sweep the whole local government 100%. That shouldn't be. And the last APC election primary, I mean, that was just a disaster. That was no election at all. That was just a disaster. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling, Samuel. If you just tuned into the show, you're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. And our first story is the APC local government primaries that happened on Saturday. There's still no results that have been announced. So far, it's been very difficult to get any information out of the party. The state party secretariat is crawling with soldiers and police, and they say that press is not allowed inside. And like I told you when I started talking about it, that's not what's supposed to happen. Usually, press is supposed to have access into the party offices so that press can cover the announcement of results and any other big news that occurs, right? And journalists are not the only ones being barred. We've heard from various contestants who say that they've been denied access to party offices since the afternoon of the primary. Some of them led a protest march to the headquarters of the APC here in Lagos, but that didn't solve anything either. And the Punch is reporting that the delay and silence are because a lot of the local government results are inconclusive. The question now is what happens next? Because if you think about it, I told you yesterday that there were so many reports of materials not getting to some centers, armed thugs disrupting other centers, reports of gunfights in different local government areas. So what next? If a lot of these results are inconclusive, as the Punch is reporting, will the Lagos APC be forced to repeat these primaries? If they repeat these primaries, how will they make sure it's not as chaotic as the first one? Is this an APC problem or a general problem? Like examples we've seen in the last few years, a lot of APC primaries in different descend into chaos. I give you the example of Zara. I give you the example of Edo. I give you the example of Ogun State, Imo State. You saw that descend into chaos. You also saw the party chairman between Oshomole and Gyado. All of these incidents, I wonder if they feed a narrative that the APC does not have mature mechanisms for resolving internal disputes. Or do you think this is something that is evident in all the parties in Nigeria? Do you think other parties have the same degree? We've got Lekon on the line. He's in Ikeja. Hello, Lekon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Thanks for calling. Leko, hi.
I'm
Yes, welcome. Go ahead.
I'm good. Okay, to me, I believe it's not an APC thing. Neither is it a PDP thing.
Okay.
It's just that the party that is ruling a particular state always be the one that, like, it's more like a winner takes all. And when you are saying it, that primary election is a major election to them, because anybody that wins that primary election, we end up winning the local government. We end up being the local government chairman. That is why is that deadly? Is that the problem?
It's so chaotic, huh?
Yes, that is why. So it's not because it's APC or PDP. Go to other states. It's more like a winner takes all. So that is my own belief. Not until when we have, let's say, like INEC coming to hold the election for them, not compared to having a last second Lagos or one second Kwara or something. And having an independent body, really, like INEC, that is when you might not have something like that. It might be a popular person that is winning the primaries, not like somebody saying Baba Sokwe or something like that.
Okay, all right. Well, WhatsApp 080-959-75 is Nigeria Info 99.3. I'm coming to take comments as quickly as I can. Collins from Lagos says the APC as a party is a gathering of strange bird fellows. I think you mean bed fellows. The violence that occurred during their primaries in Lagos is no surprise to those that know them. Before 2015 elections, they looked like a party because they wanted a minority out. But after that mission, the party is just a time bomb waiting to explode. 2023 may likely be the end of the APC. Okay, so you're taking a look at the Lagos local government primaries, and you are projecting that onto the entire structure nationally. Okay. Yeah, Sandra Ezekwesili is a change, so they're still struggling with a slogan that will make them to be in their party primaries in the future. Election should not be do or die. We need electronic voting to minimize violence. Ken from Agbado says, you know, the thing about electronic voting is that it's still human beings that will operate those machines, right? So look at what's happening with the call-up systems in Lagos, the call-up systems at the Apapa port. They were supposed to solve corruption and long traffics to clear our goods. And what happened? People allegedly went to go and spoil it. So now we're back to square one, right? And then you get to Supreme Court in Nigeria, and Supreme Court will tell you that paper ballot is more important than whatever you can do with the electronic, right? Or that you paper register is more important than electronic register, things like that. So before we jump on the bandwagon of electronic, I think we need to make sure we get the judiciary thinking the right things. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
The best of talk radio to start your day. The Morning Crossfire with Sheriff Quadri.
It is government silence and the silence on the part of the rest of us that have fueled all of this insecurity. Even from Lagos to Ibadan now, you need the blood of Jesus.
This thing is a political game. Jordan Barras in Odiodas and the rest. The men of their wives are widows. They have been paid 60,000, 100,000. You today have not paid my children's school fees. Even in our group chat, if you say anything about the boss or you complain, they will block you and remove from you. Because I think the truth.
Weekdays 5 to 9 a.m. on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Car was parked in front of my house and was vandalized. My neighbor said he actually looked through the window and saw the people taking out stuff from my car. He said he couldn't have me and his room is opposite mine.
Imagine that.
Let's talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Info 2T8. I'm the day every day by story of the day. In our segment of Ahmed Gulak, we have Hope Uzodinma, the governor of Imo State, where gunmen killed Gulak, saying that the killing left him shocked. He and back where all part Guba primaries where Uzodinma emerged as flag bearer for the party. Uzodinma said, quote, Alhaji Ahmed was in Imo State for a national assignment. He came to Owerri with the Senate Committee on Constitutional Amendment. Being a humble man, he chose to travel incognito, according to his friend who was with him. Someone must have trailed him from the hotel to the airport. That is exactly why his gruesome murder appears to be a clear case of political assassination. According to reports by the police, he was shot in cold blood and the assailants did not remove a pin from him. End quote. Ima's Nyesom Wike of Rivers State to that. Nyesom Wike said that the Imo governor shouldn't draw conclusions before the police finish investigating. He said, quote, "We should not try to politicize everything. I think the governor of Imo State, my brother, Hope Uzodinma, should allow the security agencies to do their proper investigation. It is too early for him to come out to say it is a political assassination. Having done that, it means that you already know. And knowing a product of investigation means that you already know those who committed that crime. And that will not be fair. When things of this nature happen, allow the security agencies to really go into the matter." End quote. Now, of course, the police themselves seem to be satisfied that they know who did it. They said that they tracked down the suspects. They killed them in a gunfight after the suspects opened fire. So, any laws with the suspects if they open fire? In fact, the right thing for them to do is to shoot to kill if they're being shot at by a hostile. Right? But Uzodinma and his fellow Southeast governors all vowed to help the security agencies find the masterminds behind growing insecurity in the entire zone. Now, the police have IPOB and ESN who have denied it. And you have Uzodinma pointing at political assassins. So clearly, everyone is not on the same page. So it should be interesting to see if the police respond to Uzodinma on this issue. But I'm curious what you think. I want to hear your response. Do you think Wike was correct in his admonishment to Uzodinma? Or do you think the governor was within his rights to say what he thought about the event, to share his opinion? What do you think about the blaming truthful? Women call me on 014657190. Men call me on 0700-993-993-993. We've got Facebook as well, Nigeria Info 99.3, and we've got WhatsApp 080-959-75805. Was Wike correct in his admonishment to Uzodinma, or was the governor within his rights to say what he thought? And what do you think about the police and the governor blaming two different groups of people, seemingly? Agwoma is in Bagada. Agwoma, welcome to the show. Thanks for calling us. Hello, Agwoma, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you for calling. Good afternoon.
Yeah. My name is Agwoma. I'm calling from Bagada. It's so sad that that gentleman has to go that way. And that goes a long way to tell us the level of insecurity in our country. There are two ways to it. Police have blamed him for not having sought their protection while he was traveling to the airport.
Right.
But many other people have also argued that involving police make your own security more risky. Considering the fact what the police or the security agents have been seen or alleged to have been committed. Having said that, I think also Wike was right. All we needed to keep our fingers crossed and wait for the outcome of a thorough investigation. And of course, the police or the security on their own, once it happens in that side of the country, it must have to be the IPOP. Within few minutes or hours, the investigation will be concluded that is the IPOP. That is the level. And it leaves us, I'm not, whether IPOP or any other person, but if we are really serious about fighting insecurity, thorough investigation is very essential, and we need it. Not for the purpose of just knowing, even for the purpose of preventing future ones. So that is why we need truth. Police should not be seen to be covering or things, Let it be based on thorough investigation they have sincerely conducted. And that is what we need in this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling, Agwoma. We've got Mike in Ijesha, first-time caller. Mike, welcome.
Yes, so hello, Sandra.
Thank you very much for calling.
Yes, my contribution is this. Since police has already said that they saw the people and they killed them, is there any need for any argument again? Since the people have been killed, why don't we just congratulate the police and let the matter lie?
Okay.
That's just my contribution.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mike. 99.3, hello.
Hello.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
Dr. Gabriel.
Can you speak up for me, Dr. Gabriel? Welcome to the show.
Okay. Basically, my contribution is a series of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, is there any relationship, particular relationship between the late gentleman and the state governor? That's one. Number two, why was it necessary to announce the culprit without any investigation? Number three, the late gentleman, had he visited Owerri before? I had something like...
well, he conducted the APC primaries, so I'm guessing he has before.
Where, in Owerri?
Well, the Imo APC primaries, yes.
Okay.
For governorship, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And for investigation, the police claim that the driver was able to identify 4 vehicles, their make and their plate number, and that's what they tracked and were able to go after the alleged assassins. Now, when they went to arrest them, that's when the shootout occurred, and so the police had to defend themselves and killed all of them, and that's where we are right now.
You recall that initially it was said they had arrested the culprits. Later on, the story developed to go well and that they had been killed. But I would like to ask, is it now certified that the late gentleman actually came on official assignment, or was it a private visit?
No. He came for the Senate committee hearing.
Is it true? Have you verified that it is true?
Well, everybody is having Senate committee hearings. If the governor himself says he came for Senate committee hearing, who are we to doubt the governor?
Why is it necessary for him to visit Imo? Be the one at Imo.
Okay. Well, I can't answer that question.
Finally, I can bet on my head that if you ask the so-called IPOB top chieftains or whatever, they don't even know who that gentleman is.
Well, they denied it. IPOB says they didn't do it.
Well, you may not bet on their denial, but if you investigate, you may find that they do not even know that a person like that exists. So to kind of foist it on their neck automatically, it means that somebody is running away from something. The whole thing is very fishy. Maybe we haven't even touched. There is something like a motive. What is the motive? What would be the motive of IPOB eliminating such a gentleman? None whatsoever. Is there something that somebody is running away from by eliminating such a person? I think the police needs to go further. And, I also think the police outside Imo should be brought in, if possible. A federal presence, not just the police in Imo, that might have been compromised. Because that's more than meets the eye in the whole thing.
In this story.
And the suddenness of the governor turning into both a CID or whatever, and the spokesman and the rest of them, too suddenly. And that's why I was pleased that somebody who could be heard, like Wike, spoke out. And spoke out the minds of people with some reasoning. Why? Recall that when the prisons or something was vandalized and burned there. The governor said, in a few days, I will release the details of those who did this and people behind them. Has the governor done that? And we are too much in a hurry to forget. Let us think.
All right, Dr. Gabriel, thank you very much for calling. We've got Daniel Gum on Facebook who says, my condolences to the Gulak family. Those who are responsible should be brought to book. We are all Nigerians. All terrorist groups should be destroyed. IPOB and ESN should be destroyed in the east, Boko Haram in the north. We've got Odden who says APC just wants to keep winning in Lagos at all costs. We've got someone who's watching us from the barracks in Kaduna, Omo Jesu. We're glad to have you join us. And we have Daniel who says God will heal our land of the senseless killing. More messages coming in via WhatsApp. Wike is very correct, Sandra, because Uzodinma should not preempt investigations, Austin from Isolo says. But we're forgetting the part where the police themselves seem to be satisfied that they know who did it and that they have killed who did it. Remember that. The police says, don't forget that part. Right? So I'm wondering if Wike isn't aware that the police says they found who did the killings. Or even Hope Uzodinma himself isn't aware that the police says they found who did it. Because the police says they have found who did it, they've tracked down the suspects, and they killed them in a gunfight after the suspects opened fire. They say that it's IPOB and ESN. Now, IPOB and ESN have denied it. But everybody seems to just not be on the same page. Let me come back to WhatsApp. Chika says, I sincerely commend the police if they neutralize the killers in a gunfight. We Easterners must not keep playing the terrible game the Northerners played earlier with any possible overpowered Boko Haram with any possible overpowered Boko Haram in whenever the police did their job. Okay. I also believe we're making progress towards the One Nigeria project, since by now the North did not start their own reprisal attack. Yeah, but who will they reprisal attack? Who will they attack? All right. Thank you very much, Chika, for your message. We've got another one here. Wike is a brave man, always on point. Tayo says, thank you very much for your message. The incident at Okota during last presidential election, though less than 30%, but debarred PDP supporters from coming out to vote during the governorship election throughout the state to avoid being attacked. Now, was there grounds to go to court to get the polling units rerun? That's something that perhaps the PDP in Lagos need to ask themselves. Why didn't they go to court like all the other states across the country do after an election that they feel was not free and fair? It's not enough to sit and cry victim. What did you do about it afterwards? We've got more people who are sending us messages on WhatsApp. Okay. All right, then. Christopher says, APC here in Amumoko has caused a lot of violence. A lot of people died. Christopher, wow. When we say a lot of people, what are we talking about? I mean, not that anybody should die because there's elections going on, but at the same time, we also don't want to, blow up the numbers if the numbers are not high. I know that sounds incredibly insensitive, but, people are very, very sensitive about numbers, right? So when we say a lot of people died, is it one person? Is it two? Is it 20? 2 is a lot. One person is also a lot. I'm just going to shut up now and move on to our final story. Governor Sanwo-Olu has asked the federal government to put more funding into the Lagos-Badagry Expressway. That's our third story. The governor made the request to the House of Reps Committee on Works when they visited him in Alausa. The committee chairman himself, Abubakar Kabir Abubakar, led the delegation. Now, on this show, I can't count how many times people who live in Badagry will call me and tell me, Sandra, our roads are terrible. Sandra, help us. Tell the government to help us. The Lagos-Badagry Road is a federal expressway. I'm sure you know that. It's the main road leading to the Seme border. In fact, it forms part of the so-called West African Coastal Highway. The coastal highway is supposed to go from Nigeria to Benin Republic, to Togo, to Ghana, to Ivory Coast. By the way, this is a project that they've been talking about since the 70s. Do you know that? They've been talking about this since the 70s and it's still not completed. Now, according to Sanwo-Olu, the other countries are stepping up and he wants Nigeria to do the same. As you know, the state government has already started reconstructing some parts of the expressway. They're also expanding it to 10 lanes. But as I said, it's a federal highway. So really, the money to do all of that work should be coming from the federal government. And it's going to take a lot of money. It's going to take a lot of money. And the benefits for Lagos are clear. It shortens the drive time to Badagry, which will allow Lagos spread westward more. Already, the state government is planning a rail line down the corridor as well. It's also going to improve commerce with Benin Republic, especially in the area of food and produce. And again, it works out great for Lagos because we are a major importer of food from other states and other countries. So you have to ask why the federal government has not ramped up work on this road. Why? Why hasn't it happened? Last month, we got an answer from the Works Minister, Tunde Fashola. He said, quote, Lagos-Badagry Expressway is the real challenge. Again, it is funding. We are owing the contractor. That is why I said if we can expand the Sukuk this year, we're going to look at a few more roads to add into it. If we succeed, Lagos-Badagry Expressway is one of the top roads that we're penciling down for the Sukuk in 2021. If that happens, then the contractor will do his work, but I think it is important to help us communicate to the people who use that access that they are not forgotten. Work has started. There was a time when there was no contractor there, so now there's a contractor, end quote. Now, in case you're wondering, when Fashola says Sukuk, he's talking about a Sukuk bond. It's a bond that complies with Islamic banking, sorry. So it doesn't yield interest. Instead, the lender will own a piece of the asset or piece of the assets, like the road, until the borrower pays back the money. But Fashola's point is that money no day for now. If the federal government can raise enough money on the next Sukuk, they'll put some money into the Lagos-Badagry Expressway. Now, I know that this road is a huge concern for a lot of people who live in that area. But what does hearing this make you feel? What do you think about what you've just heard? Do you think the federal government should have made the Lagos-Badagry Expressway a priority before now? What do you think about the news that the contractor is being owed? Women call me on 01465-7190. Men call me on 0700-993-993. Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. We're streaming live there. And you can also watch via Twitter. Twitter is at Nigeria Info FM. Sorry, that's YouTube. YouTube is Nigeria Info FM. Twitter is also at Nigeria Info FM. But on Twitter, we just like to get your comments on the different stories. So we'll go to that in a bit. But let's talk to Sade first. Sade is in Ikeja. Hello, Sade.
Hi, Sandra. How are you doing?
Good. Welcome.
Yes. So my question is I think you asked it. Wasn't Lagos-Badagry part of the top instead of the Kano, Abuja, one of those, I can't remember all those roads that he picked. Because it seems to me, it's almost like there's a political, well, to me, like there's a political angle to it, right?
Okay.
Because think about it, they say, I can't remember the numbers that revenue that comes through the semi-border that the federal government makes.
Okay.
And we have to look at that revenue and compare it to the other border, the Kano, what's that one that the extent that they want to do that extends out towards the north, and see if it's comparable. Do you get? Because I feel like it's what's revenue driven. If this road is bringing this much revenue, shouldn't we put it top of the list? Because then we can get more revenue for not only the state but also the federal government.
Then it leads to the question of, does the government care about any other revenue than oil revenue?
You get what I'm saying? And I mean, and they say they do because they've been. That's what it came on. We're going to diversify. We're going to do agriculture. We're going to do blah, 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 blah. Although, we haven't done any of that, apart from agric, I think. But that's my point. Like, shouldn't they have thought of that? And now we are hoping that the next Sukuk bond, opening would bring money for this, whereby I feel like it should have been part of the top 3 or top 5. Because they've been in government since, they're on the 9th year now, or whatever year, 7, sorry. They've been in government for long enough that they should have realized this and not just be thinking about it now. So it's fishy. Yes.
Fishy, she says. All right, Shade, thank you very much for calling. On Twitter, we've got Jonathan Igbo, who says, why APC primary results is yet to be out is best known to all the Jagaban of the land already had his anointed ones. I'm not sure you wrote that the way you wanted it to come out. We've got Chinedum, who says, concerning this APC elections, there was violence on my street. 2 people were shot dead, others hacked with machetes on Saturday morning because 2 people in the party were fighting for who will win. They sent their thugs to cause mayhem, breaking and damaging cars. This happened in Ojuelegba. Goodness. For local government elections. Goodness. 99.3, hello.
Hello.
How are you? What's your name?
Sandra.
Good
evening.
Good evening.
Okay, John Chichuku here.
Welcome.
Okay, Sandra, talking about the Lagos Badagry Expressway. It's funny, honestly. I think that road actually chased me out of mainland. Yeah, I suffered in that road for close to a decade or thereabouts. But it's okay. Fashola saying that they are owing the contractors and the rest. I think some of us, we seem to forget a lot when it comes to our government and their promises they do make for us sometimes. When they are doing the campaign in 2015 in Lagos State, Fashola used that same road and make a campaign, telling us how he went to Singapore to sign a contract on that particular road. Until today, that road have not been half completed, not even from Maitu to Okoko. So what is he talking about here? And we are talking about federal government. They have abandoned that road. I think Lagos State government should do that particular road.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for calling. Baba J is calling from Badagry. I knew I was going to smoke out all my Badagry listeners with that story. But Baba J, welcome.
Yeah, Baba G for good.
Oh, Baba G, welcome.
Yeah, Sandra. You are talking about my area. Quickly, 2009, I remember it was Fashola brainchild that started the 10 lane with World Bank assisting. I remember very well. People even argue that it's a Coas road. I say, no, that is a federal road, but the state is the one constructing it. But at the end of the day, I still remember, Sandra, when Mr. President went to Senate to commission something. And not that the president passed the road, but it just happened coincidentally. The other day, the Federal Executive Council now awarded part of that road. They said the work is too heavy for the state government, that they should maintain from that to really Aziz to Okoko. And they are going to do 46, kilometers from Badagry end. Let it stop at Okoko. Now the federal government started the work. Suddenly, the contractor disappears because FEMA is the one taking over the contract. They have 2 contractors, one from Okoko to Agbara, the other one from Agbara to Badagry. And the one from Okoko to Agbara, the construction there is different from that of Agbara to Badagry. And the one that is coming from Badagry, I don't know what is happening. You will see there with only one caterpillar not working, not knowing that they've not released money to them. And I want to thank the governor. If he can be able to press Fashola and let Fashola talk to the president, because there's a difference between being a governor and a minister. A governor give an order, but the minister will take order from the presidency. So we should not blame Fashola for this. And again, the inner street of Badagry, I think Sanwo-Olu should come and do something. They should not blame the federal government for only, because when they started the road, Fashola said it on national television that because of the traffic, the road construction will cause, is going to face all the inner streets. And I bet you, from Ikbori down to Yanoba, all the inner streets, Fashola constructed all of them. You cannot stay more than 8 years constitutionally. But when Abode come, Abode tried, doing 600 meters, not up to half kilometers. But Sanwo-Olu for the 2 years now, I don't know. Hello?
Well, now he's asking for money from the federal government, so perhaps that will help.
No, I mean his own part, your own inner street. You know, we have state road. For the 2 years, is it for only COVID?
Fair question.
Or paperwork? Let's leave it there. We pray here. If it happens, we'll be...
You say we pray here.
But excuse me.
Yes,
but
Babaji.
we hear is it concession or something, privatized about 8 federal road in Nigeria.
Babaji, we need to take a break. So I'm so sorry. Maybe you can stay on the line. It's just 43 seconds. Can you stay?
Yeah.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
The best of talk radio to start your day. The Morning Crossfire with Sheriff Quadri.
It is government silence and the silence on the part of the rest of us that have fueled all of this insecurity. Even from Lagos to Ibadan, you need the blood of Jesus.
This thing is a political game. Jordan Barras, the others and the rest. The men of their wives are widows. They have been paid 60,000, 100,000. Today I have not paid my children's school fees. Even in our group chat, if you say anything about the boss or you complain, they will block you and remove from you. Because I've seen the truth.
The Morning Crossfire with Sheriff Quadri. Weekdays 5 to 9 a.m. on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
My car was parked in front of my house and was vandalized. My neighbor said he actually looked through the window and saw the people taking out stuff from my car. He said he couldn't have me and his room is opposite mine.
Imagine that.
Let's talk.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
5 minutes to the top of the hour, 4 o'clock. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Babaji was talking to us before the break about a privatization, a concession of the roads, yes?
Quickly, because of my airtime.
Your airtime, oh, sorry.
Yes, during the week, I think the federal government said they've privatized, I don't know the word I'm going to use, 8 highways in Nigeria.
Okay.
And Badagry Expressway is among them.
Okay.
I don't know whether with that, privatization will affect the release of the fund. You know, Nigeria, the more you look, the less you see. Like a caller said, this thing is political. Thank you very much.
All right, Babaji, thank you very much for calling. So he's saying that earlier in the week there was news about privatizing some roads. Well, I think you're talking about concessioning, and in a way it's right. I mean, it's a sort of privatization, I guess. And Lagos-Badagry Road is one of those roads, like I mentioned earlier on. But apparently there is some need to fix the road to some extent before it can be concessioned. So it's going to be very interesting to see if that happens one way or the other. If you just tuned in and so you missed the first 2 stories, well, we told you that more people are reacting to the murder of Ahmed Gulak. Uzodinma, the governor of Imo State, where gunmen killed Gulak, said that the killing left him shocked and devastated, and he thinks that it could be politically motivated. He said that Gulak came to Owerri with the Senate Committee on Constitutional Amendment, and he decided to move around without a police escort. Wike, on the other hand, though, says, don't be too quick to start saying it was a political assassination. Let the police do their job. Now, I mentioned yesterday and today that the police says they have done their job. They have found who did it. They have killed who did it. And that the person who did it was IPOB and ESN. IPOB and ESN says, nope, we didn't do it. We don't know what you people are talking about. So the question has to be, how come everybody isn't on the same page? Wike, Uzodinma, and the police. Now, for our first story, we told you that the Lagos APC primaries results have still not been announced. So far, we've not heard anything from the party itself here in Lagos. The press is not allowed inside where they're trying to collate those results. And a lot of the things we've heard so far, according to the Punch anyway, is that most of the results are inconclusive. So it leaves a big question about whether or not they will have to go a second round to conduct fresh primaries, simply because they've got inconclusive results. Now, lots of people who have been sending us messages have been saying that the elections on Saturday were really bloody, really violent. So how will the APC ensure they don't have a chaotic second showing? Let me see messages we've got here on WhatsApp. Christopher says, Sandra, I'm disappointed about the Lagos-Badagry road because I simply feel that both the state and federal government need to join hands and construct that road. Sandra, good afternoon. Another person says, Philip from Ajanao. Philip says, when will people realize that ignorance is worse than the cocktail of HIV and the wickedest strains of COVID? Why should we kill someone just because we want to elect someone for a common political position? Sandra, Nigeria needs deliverance. So, Philip from Aja, thank you very much for your message. We've got more people here. Sandra, but police said that they've arrested the killers after the arrest gun battle. No, some media reports claimed that police arrested, but police always said that they killed the killers in a gun battle. That's what the police said. All right, more people sending us messages. Obeta Joseph from Shasha says, Sandra, when police killed ESN leader, they paraded his remains. But all the gunmen they're claiming to have been killed, they don't even show the scene, let alone their bodies. Actually, they showed us their bodies. And they showed us, you know, that palm wine tapa cap, that Mazi cap that Igbo people wear. They showed us their bodies with those caps lying around the bodies of the people they claim were ESN operatives. All right, that's all the time we have, but I will thank you for listening to today's Big Three. If you missed it, you can listen again on our podcast, available on all streaming platforms. We'll bring you business news, then we'll join Chukwudi Ezugu in the market. He's at Oniru Market. He's trying to find out how much food things cost nowadays. How much do you buy food items these days? Let's find out after the business news. I am Sandra Ezekwesili.
And now, the business news.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.